And we're back, ready to jump into our last game of the day. And this is an all-important one here because we're now deciding the final teams to be going through to the playoffs because Group A, Group C, both concluded. We have our top three, and why not just let you know who they are? France, Czech Republic, Slovakia. That's your Group A in order. Group C, Sweden, Portugal, Denmark. Portugal won out against Norway. They staged the comeback to win that one out, so they will lock themselves in a spot. And now we have to decide Group B.
Yeah, we've got 4 games being played simultaneously on, to finish off the day here. We've got Germany, Spain, Belarus, Serbia, Wales, Austria, and the game, of course, we're covering, which is Belgium taking on Iceland. And like you said, we have to try and figure out where these groups are going to conclude. And for the most part, they're already sort of getting there. Here, we are in towards Group B. Both these sides are towards the bottom end. And I'm not 100% sure if things could really change. For Belgium, they have got a win under their belts, which is at least, a small kind of positive to work with. But, is that going to be enough? Maybe. Go on.
I've crunched the numbers. So the numbers, basically, Germany and Spain are playing, and that's going to be just as important to Belgium as this game. So Belgium beat Iceland. That's all great. The important thing for Belgium is they beat Spain. So if Germany beats Spain, which they should be favored to do, I would say, but you never know, then Belgium go through. If Spain beat Germany, Spain go through. So Spain, fate's in their hand. Belgium rely on themselves and on Germany.
That's kind of actually insane, coming down right to the wire. That's exactly what we want.
It's crazy because you look at this Belgium team and you're like, how did this team not do better? But it's a tough group. So I'll give that to them. But we look at this team and we look at the individuals, and there's some real solid players here. Kicking off with Moraltis, who has had a pretty decent career in CS2 and in CSGO. Obviously, towards the tail end of last year, she was in and out a few rosters. Most recently, it's taken up IGL duties for K10 Ashes, which is a new team on the rise. And that's kind of been her first venture into IGLing. So she's also going to be calling on this team. I guess a fresh role for her. So different pieces in this puzzle because we've got a lot more experience in this team. We've got Kelly V, who returns. And if you don't know who Kelly V is kind of like the fifth Beetle in that she was on Nigma Galaxy before the Nigma Galaxy era. All right. So she was part of that roster before ESL Impact and before Kat came into the team and played with Vilga for like half a decade. So much experience, but kind of retired from CS. And it's good to see her back in this Belgian squad, similar to like Julie as well, right? Just a player that's returned to bring that experience. And then rounding out, we've got Kitty Cat, who people may be familiar with from various rosters over time, and then Enzi.
Yes. We got to catch this side and see what they're like. We can take a look at Iceland, and now we get to see my favorite. The go. Nutella.com is back, baby. This is what we want. See Jazzy Cakes, Lilia Thor, and Knefka to round it out. But this Iceland side, we caught them yesterday. It wasn't the greatest showing. They had a tough matchup. It's as simple as that. They were only able to get that one round, which was basically all there really was on offer against Romania. But the Romania are a tough side, so we can give them a little bit of leeway. Belgium, who are just one spot above them in the table, this one could be a little bit more doable.
Yeah, and well, yes, but Belgium, I think, is maybe not more stacked, but I think you've still got some really solid players. And for Iceland, they're going to have to have really gone back to the drawing board after that game and hopefully come forward with something a little bit more convincing because, even though we don't have a player, I guess, of Kat's caliber on this team, ironically, given Kelly V is on it. But, you've got players like Kitten, who used to play on the Belgian team like 6-7 years ago, right? Again, one of these returning players. So, it's going to be tough. The Vito's obviously going to be very important. Ancient was where we saw Iceland play last time. And we might go there again. Maybe not. Okay, so Belgium ban it. Belgium ban Nuke and Vertigo. So that's kind of interesting, leaving Dust 2 and Anubis. I understand Anubis, but D2 is an interesting one for Belgium to leave. And I only know this because I kind of know K10's map full, and Dust 2 is not really amongst those maps, but I suppose, the rest of the team feels very comfortable on it. It's very puggy. You can leave it in, but Iceland ban it anyway.
Gotta say as well, for Iceland, some pretty based banning here. Inferno, Dust 2, I'm a hater of both of those. Get them out. And Mirage as well gets a little stale, so I can respect
wild
that.
Iceland banned those maps too.
I know, right? The puggy maps, the fundamentally simpler maps. It is kind of interesting. I wonder what the Anubis is going to look like coming through here for them. It's a map in which, like I said, is a map that you can pug, but you can also play this so strategically deep that if you're a side of Belgium's caliber and the quantity of reps that these girls will have under their belts, I mean, you look at that and they should have a really good understanding of how to call around this, how to play off each other pretty well. And even if you try and pug it, it can be very difficult. We actually just saw the same thing with Ukraine as well. They tried to play at times quite puggy with maybe their strats weren't as deep, and it's so difficult to get going.
Belgium's going to have a lot to show on this map. I know it's definitely one of the ones that K10 have had a few reps in the server on, so Morales should feel comfortable calling on it. We'll see what this team, which is filled with veteran players. I think Belgium might be, if we looked at all these teams, probably the team with the highest average age. I think Kitty Cat's like 34.
Sick. Love to see it. Continuing to compete. I can respect. Flying in towards mid. They get a lot of space in. I just could have given it up to them.
Aggressive from Iceland actually out. Amen. This is a really cool response to losing mid control. You take space elsewhere. That seesaw effect. Kitten will spot them. Kitty Cat goes for the clear and pushing forward, trying to pincer. There's 4 CTs in canals. As the bomb goes down, Kanefka and Nutella both get a kill apiece. So they have all the advantage in the retake.
Might be a possibility. Just don't need to fight here if you're Belgium. Give them a bit of space. That's all that you need. First engagements are a little scrappy. Damage dealt, no kills either way. Iceland trying to play with each other, and they just get massacred. It's actually a team kill as well to really rub salt in the wound. Okay. That's BM.
2 team kills.
One of which completely, hopefully unnecessary. Oh,
she
no.
just accidentally hit the key, surely. Hit the right click or the left click. It happens
Stole
when
a
you're just
kill,
running. Sometimes you just
spear off.
swing your knife around and you shank someone.
She like stole a kill or something. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna get my get back for that.
I think that gives the assist to the CT. So
I think so.
That's actually a small boon. Also, it removes the flare, so armor that needs to be reinvested.
It's a funny mistake. I hope it doesn't come back to bite them in any way, but I don't think it will. Yeah, we can laugh, we can giggle. I think thankfully for Iceland, they don't have too much from a buy, and the Mac 10 gets a nice double to open things up. Simple.
Decos. Now you just do age-old classic. The Mac 10 walks into each extremity, sees what's going on, and then you can respond to it. Or you just kill everyone. That works too. 4 kills on the Mackie. Kanefka. And she deny another Mac 10 kill. No. Oh, actually, yeah. It's a USB kill.
There we go.
Unlucky.
Either way, good money in the pockets for Belgium with a couple of Mac 10 kills that they did get. So, 2-0. Iceland's first full buy. One in which really have to see this deliver a bit of success. We have to see this get super active early. I think for Belgium, if you allow the side to, on the T side especially, really kind of run rampant, that's where I get maybe a tad concerned. They can just snowball so positively before you know it. You could be at such a wealth of a deficit. Mac 10, once again, going to fly through.
Very fast. And it works well. 2 entry kills, and that was a heavy lean towards the A side of the map. Which means that Belgium would just burst their way in. Only cost them 1 player. They're more than happy. Kitten's very forward with this Mac 10. Not going to be cleared. That's a kill for free trade. Oh, how does Kitten get away with 2? Almost 3. Celia gets dinked. The jumping cat swipes them down. Moraltis is there to lock it in if required. Celia Thor trying to navigate her way out of this, but she needs to actually get pretty far away with such little HP.
It's true.
She actually might still go down.
Ooh,
I think she's okay at this point.
Don't go closer, though.
Closer than I'm like comfortable with. Yeah, no, she's good. The walls are thick.
Yeah, it makes you a little nervy. I mean, thankfully, yeah, She's just far enough away. 3-0. Quick round. The tempo set by Belgium, that one is pretty impressive to watch. They're flying towards fights. They know with the Mach 10 they can at least go 1-for-1. Going 2-for-1 in any engagement is such a big positive for them. And they can upgrade too, which is the thing you're seeing. M4's picked up alongside now 3 AKs. And I even think for the way things are playing out for now, I wouldn't even want to see Belgium on an AWP. But I think at the moment, they're more than happy to take heads-up aim duels with the AKs, with the rifles, because they're working.
Nice kill from Nutella. A little aggressive.
Oh, she got rid of the .com.
I think it's only on the intros that we get the .com. For some reason, in game it's just Nutella. Sadly, no longer sponsored by Nestle. Actually, look, on the in-game, the feed, it's still Nutella.com on like her character models.
Yeah, maybe it just doesn't fit in the in like the kill feed. I'm not 100% sure.
This round has gotten interesting. That they've found 2 kills, and the post-round positioning from Belgium isn't fantastic. But maybe they can just brawl their way out. Okay, yeah, they can. They absolutely can. Kelly V, what a collection. She's still got it.
All right, 4-5, and double spray down right at the end in particular. The mini transfer is clean as hell. 4-0, and it was honestly there were a couple of nervy fights there, which I think Iceland they're just sticking together. But once they get towards the site itself, a couple of them get caught U2 in hand, and Kelly V cleans house. Beautiful work of a little 4K, which granted it may be against the lesser buy, but it's still good for the confidence all the same. 6-1 for Kelly V2, which is pretty sick. Bit of a tag onto Knefka with that AWP. And should be just forced away.
Nice opener from Kitten. Guess that all. Guess the peek from Jazzy Cakes. Not so jazzy now. Maybe he just crawls forward. Shoot. It's not going to be ready. Yeah. Just walks in, hoping that with the AWP holding deep, someone wasn't crawling up. But with 2 entries on this side of the map, you're just going in. Knefka gets 1 onto Enzi as she accelerates. But now patience as the smoke lands. You can start to accelerate. Nutella does catch the lurk. So let's put it into the 3-on-3. There's a chance for Iceland in this.
There is. Absolutely. They've got to get an untraded kill. Give them space and play off each other. CT smoke's gonna be broken up from Mother Nade. Flash comes over, catches 2, but the AWP's still holding. Kitten waiting for a chance. If they push through the smoke, they could be in trouble. A missed shot. The rifle should be able to get a kill in response. It doesn't matter. The AWP only gets 1. The rifle see it off, and it will be Belgium who continue their winning ways. 5-0. Already pretty damning here, Lucy.
And I saw the lineup from Rouse at the end. This one kicks off with Kitten getting that kill. And CT is just feeling a bit uncomfortable. Too many positions they have to be keeping an eye on. She stays committed in dark, and that costs her. There's that lineup. That's beautiful from Moraltis, who's 6-0 right now. Immortal in the server.
Okay. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I am liking what I'm seeing. Pistols grouping up for a little bit of a main play. Oh, Nutella on the pistols. Clean as. Second time now. And she's been able to get one to start things off. And a quick trade going 1-for-1. That's not bad for this low buy.
Yeah, these pistols are the rounds that they're doing the most work on. This is very split up from Belgium. Yeah, they're in trouble. This round relies on what Enzi can do because she's walked through middle. So she's got all this space, but you can see, I think it looked for a second like Lilia Full was looking in that direction, but Enzi goes undetected, able to walk in, get 1. Can she find Lilia? She can. Nice shot, nice adjustment. That's going to allow the bomb to rotate. The remaining CTs not connected with the team, but they've got AKs and they've got armor. The bomb's yet to be planted.
This is a weird round. This 2 versus 2. Enzi tagged. Might even not want to fight here. I still done pretty decent to make this a chance. The bomb goes down. Kitten's AWP. Molotov. Just going to try and slow them down if they're pushing out from Dark. If she just stays back plat here, she should get at the bare minimum 1. Ooh.
NZ required to clutch. She's the one that found the opening that got them into this round. After ICELAND with the pistols, they just run her down. Jazzy Cakes doesn't even give her a chance to attempt the clutch. That's a round out of nowhere for ICELAND. Belgium punished.
That is a massive one to be taken. Nutella finds the first with that. I think it's the P250 that swings out from A main, and then they all just slot into place. And ICELAND just play it quite puggy. They trade each other. They're grouped up. They're constantly playing this sort of buddy system, and it works. And that's something that may not be as replicable when it comes towards the gun round, because Belgium should be aware of it, but they just get caught sort of pants around their ankles in that one, completely blindsided by the possibilities. And in doing so, ICELAND will get there first. The hope for maybe the first of a few more, maybe that round is a bit of a catalyst to further success. But the thing that's going to make it harder is that Belgium just buy right back in. No issues reinvesting. And doing so, for ICELAND, we just hope that they can go 2 for 2, and that will give them some coverage in the early part of this game.
Well, you got 1 for free, so you're intending to play into this round. Flash doesn't quite hit the mark, so that's a freebie. The setup, I was super uncomfortable for the CTs. I really didn't love it, but it's all good. It works for one. Konefka just peeks on, finds hers in mid. Doing a lot of work and might not be done yet. She is. Kitty Cat will get the refrag. Moraltes does catch one as well, so a chance for Belgium, who were down such a deficit, to crawl back what is essentially a 2v5 gone 2v3.
Okay, Jazzy Cake told him from Dark. Might get a chance to deny a bomb here. Moraltes looking. Pulls off the angle, stops holding. The Molotov is aptly timed and it might spread. No, it hasn't. Jazzy Cake's in the corner. Will actually avoid the flames. Bomb going to go down. All 3 coming from this position. Do they expect it is the thing I'm wondering. Hot flash round. Might give a freebie of a fight as Kitty Cat delivers.
Yeah, information too. You can see Moraltes clears, doesn't see anybody. So going to double up with her teammate. Well-timed Molotov is going to keep these CTs at bay. They have a smoke for the diffuse if they want to get out there. Oh, that flash doesn't quite make it out, but fighting forward, they've got the space. Moraltes sitting back, Kitty Cat tucked into Glyph. She's the one that goes undetected, able to swing for hers, looking for the follow-up, and she gets them both. A quad kill in the round, and Belgium able to thread the needle. A 2 versus 5.
It has to be said, though, these rounds getting more closer than they should be. Time and time again, Belgium are required in a post-barn clutch to make it work, rather than just winning them outright. They're not kind of walking over ice in maybe the same way that Romania did, where it was very clean Counter-Strike. They were making very few issues and the rest. This is, yeah, I mean, at least where I look at this and say that this is pretty still on a bit of an edge, I think is probably the way I'll put it. For ICELAND, a couple more fights go the other way, and they actually could have had potentially even like 3 rounds in this, which does change the narrative quite considerably. Quick with the MAC-10, going 1 for 1 with the rifle trade isn't bad.
Very good, and I don't think they're going to slow down. Looks like this is going to be a hit onto A. CT is going to respond in the correct way by moving towards A main, but Moraltes can pen them in, and that's the full intention, but she doesn't quite connect onto Nutella. Crouches under her crosshair. That's going to mean that the T's in this post plan are going to have to worry about so many different angles. Kelly V clears mid, though. They can eliminate one. Focus their attentions to storage, where Kitty Cat crawls closer, can't connect on the Jazzy. And Kitten's so low, it's all under Kelly V. And she has 10 HP in a 1 versus 3. There's no chance. No world, surely not. Not with Molotovs continually thrown at her. She gets stuck on the door, and it gets closed right in her face.
That's pretty sweet. That's a decent retake. The util is clean. And now, of course, we look at this and say, for ICELAND, they need to chain a couple of these together, but they have the ability to retake these rounds well. The individuals are looking a little bit cleaner. I mean, Nutella had a bit of a slow game in towards when we saw her against Romania. You know, that kind of was the case for ICELAND as a whole, but we're seeing a few more opportunities where, you know, she's looking great. Lilia Thor as well, same. Couple of shots, which are very, very nice. A second round for them. They can make it a third here. You put a lot more pressure on towards Belgium. It's still a fairly decent T side, but Belgium need to get, at the bare minimum, a lead heading in towards our second half for them to be comfortable. I think if you go 6-all on T side Anubis, it can actually be potentially problematic.
Lot slower this round. ICELAND are really giving fights. It's a very passive CT side as well, so Belgium are forced to make the first move in most instances. Middle is where the bulk approach. See ICELAND make similar maneuvers, moving forward into A main preemptively. In fact, well, maybe they were considering a canals crunch with that positioning, but they're just going to take that control. Kelly V on the angle, gets one, traded immediately. Belgium are going to use that opportunity to make moves into the site. They've got good control towards storage as well, at least for a moment. They've kept active in middle, so this post plant looks a lot stronger.
Okay. Knefka. Double stacked in Fryer. Heaven, the swing is great. Knefka will find that first. Once gets caught, they line up as Enzi gets a double. The third is there for the taking, and she will grab it with both hands. Lilia thought catches Kitty Cat, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. 47 points of HP. They're double stacked on top of each other too. The flash isn't bad, but the bomb, in all fairness, isn't planted for them. Doesn't make a difference. Enzi sees it off. What a round coming out from her. 4 kills to a name. Belgium respond well in kind and deny ICELAND at all getting consecutive rounds.
Yeah, if she got the smoke on the bomb, I think that was maybe a while where she could have potentially got the defuse, but with 2 players that could have quickly come and spammed, I don't think it would have been possible. You see, Enzi was already getting on the line ready for that eventuality. Comes close. Especially with middle being your kind of bit of control, like that's not a comfortable position in the post plan. It's such an easy area to lock off. So you can see how that could have unraveled. This time Belgium just gonna hit 8. Just straight in.
I hate it. That nade. Oh, it's pretty chunky. And it does decent damage. And a quick trade. Maybe still space.
Yeah, tell us she's gonna fall off. Let him have it. Playing the retake. They do have Kit. Chu has the full belt as well. And they're pretty fast on the response. So they have all the control. Nutella gets a kill. Kitten calls into heaven. Can't get the kill either. So Knefka and Nutella put the advantage in ICELAND's favor. Moraltis and Kelly V, the 2 players you want in this position, but they both get run down. Too many CTs to deal with. And the post plants continue to be the woes of Belgium.
Yeah, that's a really clean retake too. Only the 1 casualty. Not bad. The nade to start things off was super chunky. And then ICELAND just don't rush. And that's, I like the way in which they approached it. The discipline was very solid. They played off each other quite nicely once they get in towards the site itself. And they just give very few options for Belgium to isolate fights. Okay. So, 3rd isn't terrible. Up towards a 5th. Hey, maybe something's on it. Are they going to get there, though? I'm not 100% sure. They're still yet to get a back-to-back round, a consecutive one put on the board. This one is a harder buy for Belgium. A Deagle, a Tech 9. Lose this, and they might not have any money for that final round of the half.
Further bad news for Belgium is Spain are steamrolling Germany right now, 8-0. An inferno of all maps.
Bit of a shaker potentially, right?
Sure on that tiebreaker, so we'll see.
I think, off the top of my head, round difference came first.
Well, Belgium beat Spain, right? So actually, they want Spain to win? Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Fighting into the site. Moraltis gets hers. But again, CT is responding very fast. You as well. Hitting her headshot. Or body shot, sorry. Kelly V has the clutch. Has killed the Deagle. And full recovered, but interested to be ready for Knefka to be present in spawn. That interesting investment in that round didn't really work out.
Yeah, I mean, they walk away with nothing from it and not a hell of a lot to bring in towards this next. A really solid haul. It's a decent response here from Iceland. You know, things started pretty bad. It looked like Belgium were in complete control for the early part of this game where everything was slotting itself in towards place where they were just going to make this one a pretty simple game, similar to kind of what Romania did against Iceland. It's changed now, though. It's a 3-round buffer, but should realistically be a 7-5 half. I mean, the buy really is so feeble towards that Belgian side. Knefka, don't have a fight here. You should be fine.
Nice angle. Morales jiggles the line there and able to get that kill. And Kitty Cat gets one as well. Dazzy Cakes looks to try and punish. You're not expecting another player in this position, so she gets hers. She's about to get split on as well. Morales and Kelly V, again, this duo required. And I think Morales might have just threaded around past her. And now it's all onto Morales, a 1 versus 3. Oh, timing is insane. What?
No
way. How does she looks back anyway? That's ridiculous.
Open sight, go palm.
All right, but such low HP. This would be a pretty phenomenal clutch for Morales. Onto planted. She has a smoke and molly. So if she throws that smoke at camera, oh, it's to main. She just got a crosshair in the right position, but 2 players, the spacing doesn't matter. Nutella walks around the corner. It was always going to be a difficult one, and it was made difficult when she was brought low. If she had the full HP, you could see how it could happen.
Yeah. Tried to get proactive and hope for an isolated fight, but again, pretty well played from Iceland. Sit together. That ring around the roses, that cat and mouse game very nearly could have actually netted a kill without damage, but it isn't to be. 7-5. There was the potential of this being a close game, but not the case right now. This is good. We have at least something on the cards here where, well, from what we've seen from Iceland, there's a competitive streak about them. And on the T side as well is maybe where I could see them doing a little bit more work too. Kind of looser style, maybe not a strat heavy, reliant on the individuals, but some of the individuals are looking pretty decent. Knef go up to 12 now, Nutella to 10. I'm seeing worlds in which Iceland can pull off a bit of an upset in this one. That's not a bad start.
A good shot. She falls back, and that should bait in Enzi. The Glocks run her down, and with such little HP on Kelly V, yeah, what can she do? It's Morales, and it's only her on the site. So many players trying to just deal with her, and she still lives, still gets the kill, and another kitten as well. How does Morales stay alive there? That is an insane hold, and a massive 3K from her.
Oh, they walked away with that round. I honestly thought from the jump it was probably going to be done. The early fight comes through, and I thought maybe Iceland were just going to overwhelm the site itself, but that is so well played. The first kill is crisp, dropping out from mid in towards water. It's not an easy shot to hit, but plucked out of midair, duck hunting style. And Belgium, they really did need that in all fairness. They were losing a little bit of control where at least you could see the pathways for Iceland to close this game up, to start to make it competitive on the T side, and thankfully it wasn't to be. Eve, you are on the side of Belgium.
I can't believe Morales lives for that long. That's ridiculous. It's like an extra second is enough to allow the Dulveretta player to arrive. But at least the bomb plant actually gives Iceland a very good buy into this round. So if they win it, Belgium will be in a very bad position. So this round might be the most important on this CT side.
All right. Creep walking through. Fire main. Smoke will meet them there. They got so much time. There's no rush for Iceland. The big thing is just don't give any information away or a life. And in this case, Knefka gets caught. NT's gone super aggro, wrapped all the way around. They now know 100% that they're here.
Yeah, so I think Iceland acknowledged this and they realized we have to make moves elsewhere. We've lost the element of surprise. So they're going to go back to B. Kitty Cat drops the preemptive incendiary. That will slow them down enough to allow Kelly V to arrive. And in fact, all of the CTs have come to B. They've come to play, and it's not a fun game for Iceland. They're getting run down. 1 kill on their way out. That's a good hold from Belgium.
It is. It is. And I think for Belgium, this is now putting them in a really strong spot overall in this game. There's been moments where it felt like they're maybe losing a little bit of control, or moments where there was question marks about what potentially things were going to look like. But I think now we have to look at this and say, there's a 9-5 scoreline. The money once again is broken up towards Iceland, so we're maybe not expecting fireworks. Belgium should get double digits. They're so close to the finish line, Belgium, that I think a lot of the worry is off their shoulders. And you kind of touched on this coming in towards this game, where if Belgium are going to see this one off, a lot of this comes down to what's happening in the other game, whether they're going to qualify in that sense, and maybe how things shake up for the rest of this group.
Playing 9-2 right now.
Wow.
So, looking good for Belgium, I believe. Oh, kitty cat. It's all good. It's all good. That was a little funky. Tahichi, how does that not kill Nutella? Lucky to be alive. Won't be so lucky in a moment, surely. Surely, any second now, something will hit her. There it is. That was a scary position to be in if you're Nutella.
It was.
Scarier than if you're on my plate in front of me.
Yeah, or if you've got cavities. I don't know.
We love Nutella.
Nutella's pretty good. It is pretty good. I haven't had Nutella in years, in all fairness. Like I said.
No, actually, it's not good. It's palm oil. They're killing all the orangutans.
You might have to get me on that one. I don't know what palm oil is, but Biscoff I can get behind.
Okay, yeah. Biscoff's good. Better.
Biscoff is good, yeah. Lotus Biscuits go dummy hard. 10-5. It is Belgium getting ever close now to the finish line. 5 rounds for Iceland's maybe not enough to work in their favor. That's a great flash. And a double opener. Not the start that Iceland would have wanted. Belgium, that's a beaut. Find the opening kill. Nobody falls. A lot of damage taken, but they just fall away.
Yes, we're expecting Belgium to really sort of step away from Iceland, because the T half is always going to play out a certain way. But I think on the CT side, this is where teams can really differentiate themselves, and where if you've got some set plays that can come forth, like that sort of aggression outside of a main, like I think there was even maybe a peek from Dark at the same time, right? So you're kind of taking all of that control at once. That's the sort of stuff that Belgium can pull out and put Iceland on the back foot, especially when you've already got such a strong lead. Moralta should make sure this doesn't get any more costly. Baiting for Kitten. Okay, well, not quite. Well, it's a good bait, I suppose. It works. It's a little costly, but hey, you keep 3 alive and you find yourself on 11.
Yeah, and a similar thing where for Iceland, actually, they could technically force if they wanted to. I wouldn't personally. I'd actually just buy what is potentially going to be the final, playing for overtime. I feel like you have a much better chance of chaining momentum together if you're on full rifles than if you force buy-in. Even if it's expensive, you win all the rest. That kind of vibe. So we do get a bit of a half buy. Mac 10, a few Tech 9s to round it out, and half armor mostly across the board, staying in around and above that 2k mark. 11-5 probably should be a 12 there. Bomb plot will be lovely for Iceland. Would like a little bit of a quicker play. That's not a bad start. Nutella on these pistols. She is clean as hell with them.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And Jazzy Cake gets one as well. Enzi gets aggro. Kitty cat. In fact, everyone rotates, but I like this from Iceland. They don't overcommit off those kills. They're going to make Belgium sweat. They're going to stack A. And B, and that's actually going to be fine, because Iceland, despite pausing, are going to return straight here. A smoke to eliminate Dark. They can focus their attentions, but she just runs straight through. Kitten in the back lines with the AWP, the only player alive, and not for long, surely. Run down. That one got a little scary, but Iceland, again, around with pistols, get it done.
Yeah, never count them out. The Tech 9s are scary in the majority of hands, but Iceland in particular, they just seem to be a different beast. They approach these rounds so confidently when they're on these sort of buys, and they continue to make it work. It's a quicker tempo, and it seems to continuously find some success. And it does make me think as well, what would Iceland be like if they played a lot of their gun rounds at this sort of quick tempo. They play the gun rounds considerably slower, where they give time for Belgium to set up. They give them time to take fights and isolate and all the rest. If they maybe just played some relentless aggression on a T-side round, would that actually catch Belgium off guard? Maybe, because it seems to be the case on the pistols.
This line of T's. That aggression that came out earlier as Iceland really worried.
So quiet. Minute 10, and nobody's moving over towards Iceland. And it is making Belgium want to poke and prod for a bit of information. And well, in doing so, they're going to kill.
And if it tries to get one back, smoke deployed, will block her way through. There is room in middle that the T's could potentially try and utilize. Being very loud in this runway from the canals, so surely that's going to give you the hint that A is where they're headed, and Knefka gets caught. Time through the smoke by Moraltis. You're entering into this site with 2 players lying in wait. Need clean entries, and you got to get past Moraltis, the doorkeeper. She's looking for some more kittens there, trying to help out. Moraltis, a lot of damage done. She's the only one remaining, and maybe she's the only one they need. Moraltis with the USB closes it out, a quad kill.
Beautiful. That is a lovely little fight at the end, and that might be the straw that breaks the camel's back as well. Now up to 12, and Iceland just off the back of success. A call for a slower round, and it doesn't work. I mean, it's as simple as that. I actually would, for this potential last hurrah for Iceland, even though they've got an AWP out for Knefka, play it a little bit quicker. I think speed is something that can be a massive asset to them, and it's just not something they're utilizing, or not utilizing enough. It's been unfortunate. It has to be said. 12-6. And potentially nothing really left. Knefka nearly gets a shot and will take it, but misses.
Yeah, with that AWP revealed, Kitten feels like she can get aggro, and she does get a kill. Kelly V gets one as well. That was on to that AWP, actually, getting aggressive. Does Moraltis really need to flirt with death here? You've got a player advantage. You know, the sole defender on this side don't need to over-egg it. Victory only 3 frags away.
We're now 3 alive. And again, they pump the brakes, Iceland. They're hoping for over fights. It's just not something that Belgium have done at all on the CT side. They're waiting to see whether Belgium are going to overextend, but for the most part, they really don't. Not in the mid to late round. I think they know that Iceland are playing this slow style of play. Moraltis has got some util. A smoke down around the 30-second mark towards main could kill Iceland here. And there it is. Smoke comes down. That is going to hurt so much. They have to decide to either shift walk through it, which would just be a crazy call to make, generally speaking, pot flash through it, which gives away the position, or just simply run. Either way,
they're waiting.
Moraltis should be fine. They don't have time.
Moraltis is going to get ahead of this flash. Just going to get ahead of it, but can't get past them. Too many bodies. So they run through. Incendiary, gonna be a pain. Ooh. Jazzy, that's a necessary kill. That means they can plant. That's insane. They've been able to burst through with barely any time on the clock. But it might not matter. It's all in the Jazzy cakes, and she has no health. Her position known as she throws that smoke. 4 gets the first kill, but Kelly V's there. And it will be Belgium taking the victory over Iceland.
Little sigh of relief, it has to be said, with that one. I thought for a second that maybe they might get a post-plant pulled off, but it's not to be. Belgium, a much-needed victory to keep their hopes alive. The potential of qualifying towards the playoffs. I'm not sure you have any updates about that one. How's the other game going? Are Belgium making it?
It's 11-4 to Spain right now. So my understanding is that if Spain win it, because Belgium beat Spain very convincingly earlier, that means that Belgium go through. So we're all going to be waiting on that game to conclude to know for sure exactly. But it looks good for Belgium right now, is what I will say.
That's good. Considering it didn't start well in towards day one, they've come in towards day two, and they've really made it kind of stick with them. That one, there was a couple of moments where it was shaky. I think especially against Pistols was where Iceland did a lot of their best work. I just think for me, for Iceland, you can see that they have the individuals here there who can take fights, win out aim duels, this, that, and the other. They have some ideas in the pocket. I honestly just think they were just too slow. There was so many times when they're on gun rounds where a little bit of a pace or a little bit of a tempo change would have given them success, and they just don't. They're constantly playing, first 40 seconds, they don't really do anything, which is not the worst thing in the world, but I think you've got to have a bit of variation because Belgium, they just knew what was going to happen basically every single round. That, right, first 40 seconds or so, we'll drop maybe a smoke out towards A and B main and we'll just wait. We don't need to do anything else. We don't really need to fight. And then we know that the second hits the 40-second mark, they're making a move somewhere. Let's keep a smoke or a Molotov on hand just in case.
Yeah, I think the big difficulty for Iceland is that it's such a small nation in terms of Counter-Strike population that, you're always going to be the underdog because you don't bring into the equation the experience. We look at this team, and that was definitely the conversation because Belgium is stacked with experience. We talk about them being, on average, the oldest roster here. And yeah, the players that fill out this team have played Counter-Strike, competitive for decades, some of them. So, even though Moraltis is a new caller, so to speak, I think just the sheer talent that's on this team is always going to give them that advantage. And Iceland, I will say one thing, it's a massive improvement from last year with some similar players returning. The results, even though they haven't picked up the dub, the actual games, the Counter-Strike we're seeing, it looks so much better. So massive improvements, but a very difficult group. And sadly for them means they won't be going through to playoffs.
Yes. Yeah, you hate to see it, but it was cool. I think this is something that Anders was saying to me, which I think is obviously you just touched on. Every year we see maybe how teams change in these qualifiers, and in particular how they get better. And I think this is the beautiful thing about tournaments like IESF, is that tournaments from smaller regions that really just don't have maybe the biggest appetite for Counter-Strike, or just even simply the biggest population generally, is you get to see year on year, qualifier on qualifier, how they improve, how they get better, and how they potentially compete. And who knows, if Iceland were more competitive this year, who knows what they'll be like next year.
Absolutely. Spain's on 12 now, 12-4. So we're rounds away from seeing if Belgium will go through. So make sure you keep an eye on that, guys. But that's all of the Counter-Strike done now for the stream. We've covered all of our games. Almost those groups locked in. We have most of the teams already decided with France, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Sweden, Portugal, Denmark, Poland, and I believe Serbia and Belarus both also probably locked in, but we're still deciding the final teams. So in the next couple of minutes, next hour, every team will be decided, and we'll be back next week for the playoffs to see who goes to LAN. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll catch you then.